So the ceiling panel's all done from the last episode. Today the plan is to get the subs loaded into the enclosure, into the box, and then install it into the vehicle. Once I install it, I want to temporarily hook up the amp and give it a bit of a test play and see how it performs. The reason I want to do this is because if there's any really bad rattles and things like that from the parcel shelf, I don't want to have to try pull these subs back out again. So I want to do it now before I secure the ceiling panel in or anything like that, because the subs do weigh 90 kilograms with the box. So it's quite a heavy box and quite a heavy, package. So I don't want to have to be pulling it in and out of the vehicle many times. So I don't want to have to install the whole install, test it, and then find out there's something drastically wrong or there's something that's vibrating really badly. So give it a bit of a test bump now. Also keen just to see how they perform. We'll install one amp just for now and trial it. It'll only be on less than 1,000 watts probably by the time you have box rise and things like that. So we'll get that installed, hooked up, have a bit of a test play, clamp it and see how much power it's using, how many dB it gets just for now, just a bit of a test figure. I'm hoping it'll be over, I'm going to assume it'll be over 140, but time will tell, I suppose. So we'll get that all done, get it installed, have a bit of a play, and then we can then focus on the rest of the boot install and getting it finished.
Designed to impress.
So with a bit of pushing and shoving and whatnot, the box is now in, finally. And I think what I'm going to do is, I'm just going to dodgy it and chuck one of the batteries in the back, hook up the amp temporarily, just one of the amps. So the subs are right now in series to each side at 4 ohm on each sub. So then I'm going to put them in parallel to the amp, and it's going to be at 2 ohm. So when I have all the amps hooked up, we've got the 2 amps strapped at 1 ohm each, 2500 watts. So we'll have 5k at 2 ohm. So I'm going to hook up the subs now on 1 amp. So we'll only have around 1500 watts at 2 ohm. So they're 1500 watt RMS each. So we'll only have between 500 and 700 watts, but I just want to give it a bit of a test play and see how it goes and see if there's any rattles and things like that that I need to try and fix in the parcel shelf and whatnot before I go through with the next step in making the false wall and things like that. So, plus I really want to hear how they sound. So I'm kind of itching, so I will go and get the amp and temporarily install that now just to have a bit of a test play before I rip it all out. Alright, so I've chucked the amp in and hooked up to the battery into the car and to the subs. I've got the clamp meter and a voltmeter on right now, set on max, so I'll actually be able to see what sort of power the subs are getting. But now we're ready to give them a bit of a test bump and see how it all performs and how it sounds. Alright, so I've got everything hooked up, so we'll start the car and play just some test tones, and I'll put the SBL meter up on the dash and just see how it performs. So we'll see what happens. USB. Test tones. We'll do 25 hertz. Ooh. That's already got some. It's 25 hertz, 133.2 dB, 14 volts, 25 hertz. All right, let's take it to. We'll do a 29 or a 30 hertz now. 29 hertz. And going up. Wait for it to start again.
Welcome to the Mixmag Lab Los Angeles.
Sorry.
Every week you're at
Right,
the lab
29 hertz. $141. 141.0 at 29 hertz, 14.3 volts. Let's go see. I'll turn it up to maybe 30 hertz now, and we'll see what that does. Just turns 33 hertz. Pretty flat, so it's peaking a bit lower, so 140.1. So we'll go down to we'll do a 32 hertz. 32 hertz. $141.4. I'm going to go and test and see what I'll reset the multimeter on that so we can see what power we're putting out. I'll give that another bump and see what it does. 32 hertz. Right, 32 hertz. And turn it up. Reset. $141.4 at 32 hertz, 14.4 volts. Let's go see what the multimeter says. Alright, so we have 6.6 amps, 71.2 volts. So that leaves us with 469.92 watts of power to each sub. So we've got just under 1,000 watts between the two. We're doing 141.4 at 32 hertz. So I'm pretty happy with that, considering that we're going to have 5k of power strapped between these two, and they're 1500 watt RMS each. So I'm pretty happy with that. 141.4 at 32 hertz, that's a decent score in itself, but that's only on 470 watts per sub, and they are 1500 watt RMS subs each. So when we add the second amp, we're going from a theoretical output of 2500 watts at 1 ohm, which in this configuration it's hooked up to 2 ohms, so we're only getting 1500 watt RMS theoretical, and we're going to go from that to 5000 watts RMS. So quite a big power increase. By the time you take into consideration box rise and things like that, this arrangement, that score then was with a box rise of about 5.3 ohms, so, or 5.5 ohms or something like that. So by the time we take that into consideration for the 5000 watts, we won't be getting full power, but it's going to perform very well. So I'm happy with that. I think the customer will be very happy with that when we get it all finished. Like I said, this isn't actually an SBL car. It's not a burp car. It's not going to be entering competitions, things like that. He just wanted a loud sound system for the budget. And I think he'll be hopefully pretty happy with that. So yeah, the next episode I'll be pulling all the battery and all the amps and stuff like that out, and starting on the false wall, the false floor, and doing the amp rack. So getting closer to getting the second amp installed and having a play then, which I'm now, after hearing this, I'm pretty keen to try and get that finished and start to listen to the actual finished subwoofer stage. So yeah, stay tuned for the next episode where I will be beginning the actual boot install.